channel. If you're new, hi, hello, I'm Nicola and I make videos talking about grief, life and just vlogs in general. It's currently 7:30 on the Saturday morning. If you can hear water in the background, I'm just about to go get in the shower and get ready because I've got to pick my mum up and we're going to go through to the bank because I got some checks through but they're in my maiden name, so I've got to go through with my marriage certificate and things like that. So yeah, so I'll see you when I'm out the shower and ready. Hi everyone, I'm out the shower now. It's a bit warm today, but yeah, I've got some washing up to do. I accidentally won't let my washing up balls up too much. Crack on with the washing up. Once I've done that, should be nearly time to go pick my mum up and I'll chat to you guys in a bit, okay? So I guess some of this is also a bit like, what do I do every day in my life? Well, at the moment I'm feeding Floyd. Okay, his biscuits in his bowl. I'm gonna go put these down for him. And there you go. There's his biscuits in his bowl. Is that your food? Is that your food? Yeah. Wow. He also gets a pill every morning, so I'm going to do that. And it's for his allergies. He's got like hay fever, but like dog version. So it really flares up, especially around this time of year when all the pollen's coming out and it's warm. So I'm going to do that and then I'll come back. So this is the current setup for Floyd's treat. As you can see, we do dog-friendly peanut butter. Sit. You gonna spin? Good boy. Sit down again. Oh, gentle. Gentle. Oh, good boy. Yeah, he's a good boy. So yeah, Floyd's had his pill. I've got to take some of my pills. But I need a drink out the fridge. Oops, just dropped a magnet off the fridge. I keep putting the camera like really close to my face, off me out of frame, but I just dropped my magnet off the fridge. It's the Amsterdam one. Well, it was Andy's technically, off his parents, I think, or his sister. It's also a bottle opener. So yeah, this is pretty much what also we do in the morning. Is Floyd likes to get right into my personal space with some love. And yours now apparently as well. What's my plans for this weekend? Not a lot, even though it's a bank holiday. Hi Floyd. Yes, Mummy loves you. Mwah. Yeah. Me and Floyd just probably going to hang out, probably go back to the fancy park like we did in my last vlog. He loves that park. He likes to watch the ducks. And I think probably see my grandparents. We'll probably go back to the fancy park like we did last week. That was in my last week's vlog. I don't know what other plans I've got for this weekend. It's getting really warm in here though. I'm just not used to it, you know. It's been like 5 degrees for months. And now it's like 21, 22, and it's really warm. My grandparents have a big garden, like allotment garden. So the dog likes to run around there, so we might go up there for a bit again. Again, I think I did that in my last vlog. And I know what people are thinking, well, do you not have friends to hang around with? Do you not do any fun, cool things? And it's like, well, for a long time, it was just me and Andy, and obviously I don't have Andy anymore. And when you're in a relationship, you kind of get wrapped up in that relationship, and you don't really see your friends as much. And as that's just life, like people get older, like a lot of my friends have children, so they have like other responsibilities. You can't just drop their children because I want to hang out, you know what I mean? Like again, a lot of them are in relationships or married, so you know, they have plans, they have their lives to live, and they can't just drop their stuff for me. I mean, I do see friends sometimes, like usually every other month. Me, the guys that Andy was in the band with, who are obviously friends with us, our friends Iona and Corey, who Andy met at college. I mean, yes, a lot of these people were Andy's friends who I still meet up with, but that's what happens when you get into a relationship. Their friends become your friends. And I have like work friends, like I said, I hung out with Laura a little bit last week, who I used to work with, who we're still friends with. I have other friends that I'm still friends with. Some of them are planning a night out actually. I think they want to do Bratmanus brunch, but I'm just not 100% sure if I want to go. Just because it's awkward for me to find someone to watch Floyd. And I know Floyd's a dog and people think, girl, it's a dog, leave him. He has a lot of anxiety and separation anxiety and he's kind of scared of his own shadow. So I wouldn't want to leave him alone. And I don't want to put that burden on my family to have to watch him, because at the end of the day, I got him, he's my dog. But, I mean, the odd occasion they will, but and he's just, yeah. And I also need to start deciding where I'm going to hang pictures up, because I've got a lot of blank walls around the house that I kind of need to decide where I'm putting the pictures. So at the moment they're just on my little unit across the other side of the room. I'll show you them. I don't know if you saw them. I'll have a look at the clip. But yeah. So yeah, it's difficult. And we usually only plan things when it's like someone's birthday or like a special event, or someone out of the blue will just say, oh, I fancy doing this, who wants to go? And that's kind of just what it is. Friendship isn't about like being glued to someone's side 24/7. It's the fact that you could not talk for months, but then when you do talk or hang out or whatever, it's like you've never been separated. And that's why I love a lot of my friends, because we can go months without seeing each other. But then as soon as we do see each other, it's kind of like we never left each other's side. Like me and my friend Rebecca, we work together for like nearly 5 years. And we were really close at work and stuff, and obviously we still are outside of work, but we just don't see each other that like 5 days. We used to see each other 5 days a week for 8 hours a day. So, but obviously we don't do that anymore. We might see each other once every few months, and that's cool and that's fine, because, you know, we both have our lives to live. We both have dogs. She's got a Cocker Spaniel as... Thanks, Floyd. She's got a Cocker Spaniel as well. And he's a little ginger Cocker Spaniel, and him and Floyd get on really well. So sometimes we've taken the dogs out together before, so we might try that again maybe soon. Yes, Floyd, I know. Mummy's not paying any attention, is she? And you got your crinkly octopus, and you've kind of killed him. You've ripped his brains out. Yeah, you ripped his brains out. Yeah. So yeah, and I mean, other than general work stuff this week, it's been stressful as usual and busy as usual. I didn't get paid my proper wage this month because someone in payroll messed up and charged me nearly £890 in tax. So I only got half my wage, but they're unsorted, so hopefully it'll be fixed next week. And I might get that money back, hopefully. I've got bills to pay. But yeah, so I know that I usually talk about like grief and things, and to be honest, this week hasn't been that bad. I feel like I've done pretty well this week. It's probably one of the better weeks I've had in a long time. Obviously I still had the odd tears every now and then, especially when things get stressful at work. I'm just a bit like, oh, I wish you were here. I wish I could just like tell you about how stressed I am and talk to you, and you, because me and Andy sort of balanced each other really well. I'm quite an anxious and like worst case scenario person, and I sort of let that escalate and work myself up, where Andy was pretty like, look, it is what it is, chill down, bring me back down, kind of. So I kind of do miss like that. I don't have that anymore. Like I don't have someone to sit there to bring me down, and it's different when someone like a friend says, oh, just, it's all gonna be fine, versus when your partner says it, because I was with him 24/7. We knew each other probably a lot deeper than a lot of people know, like us. Like I would even say Andy knows me more than what my own family did, you know? So we had that sort of just open, honest, free to be ourselves, unconditional sort of love. When someone like that says, oh, it's going to be okay, it's all right, like it'll all work out, you kind of have that extra trust in them, if that makes sense. And you think, you know what, yeah, you're right. And that's what I miss that, because that used to bring me like right back down and chill me out. But I'm trying to sort of keep telling myself, well, what would he say, what would he tell you, and that's all going to be okay and stuff. But yet again, it's not the same, but it does help. It was work, stressful. I have a very, I wouldn't say a love-hate relationship with my job. I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy the people I work with. It's just sometimes external factors, like external people that you deal with, can make your day quite crappy, especially if they're like having a go at you for no reason. It's one of the reasons why I left working for a very big bakery in the UK I used to work for. Now that could be a couple of bakeries, but yeah, the customers were awful a lot of the time. Like, I just used to stand there and think, there's so much shit that goes on in the world that you could be passionate about and put your anger into, but instead you come and scream at a bunch of kids working in a bakery because your pasty or sausage roll wasn't that warm. A big deal. Like, at least you're not homeless. At least you're not like going through some massive horrible ordeal. Like, but like sometimes the way people used to go on it was like as if you shot their family in front of them. And like I've had people throw things at me. I've had people like just say nasty things and shout at me and stuff. And one woman came in one time and made a complaint against me and was like, oh, she just like threw everything in the bag and slammed it on the counter. And I mean, I love my boss. She was so lush, and she was just like, oh, can I have a word? And then she told me what this woman had said, and I was like, no. It's like, I've never done that, and I never would do that. Like, I understand my job, and it can be frustrating sometimes, but I would never take that out on anyone else. And she was like, yeah, I know. She was like, I think she's just pulling a fast one, because the shop I used to work in used to have this, like, nobody leaves unhappy policy. So it was a case of people cottoned on to that really quickly, and it was like, oh, well, if I complain and they don't want to escalate, I'll get, like, a gift card, so then I can come in and get stuff for free. They'll give me loads of free stuff. So people used to just kick off all the time because they knew that you would have to give them something for free just to keep them happy. And that's kind of not, it wasn't the company's policy, that was just the managers in the store's policy. And it used to put us who worked on the counter in a really awkward position a lot of the time. It's one of the reasons why you couldn't pay me enough to go back to a customer face-to-face role. Like towards the end, when I knew I was handing my notice and I was going to leave, on my very last day actually, as a girl with a bit of a snotty attitude, I was just like, you know what, buy it, don't buy it. I've got other things to do. Like, bye. Wish I could have had that mentality like throughout it all. It might have helped a bit, but I take things a bit too personal. I mean, it probably wasn't personal. They're probably just having a bad day or whatever. But it's the fact that like it doesn't matter how shitty my day is or how much shit I'm going through in life. I don't stand there and take it out on poor innocent people who are just trying to do their job. And people kick off about McDonald's staff and fast food staff, and it's like, you do realise most of these are like 16 to 18-year-old kids, and at the end of the day you're going to somewhere and paying for fast food, and yes, you want your order to be right, but at the same time you're not paying for a 5-star Michelin meal. Like, just go in and say, look, you forgot this. I'm sure they'll get you what you need. You don't need to go in and kick off about it. You don't need to be a dick about it. People don't understand that the nicer you are about a mistake, the more willing someone is to help you. As soon as you start kicking off, people aren't as willing to help you. So I just don't understand the mentality of I'm going to go in and scream at some poor 16, 17-year-old who working on the counter because they missed my chicken nuggets out the bag. Mistakes happen where people are humans, I guess sometimes you have to think, have I ever made a mistake in my life? Probably, yeah. Did someone have a go at me about it? Maybe, maybe not. But be the better person. Don't have a go at someone for a mistake. This has kind of turned into my work history because I used to work in a sandwich shop, a very big sandwich shop. And again, that was my first ever job. I was 17, 18 when I first started there after I finished college. But it was stupid, honestly. The manager was a nightmare. He was only 24 himself, but like he would do some really dodgy stuff. And not long after I left, actually, he got caught doing the dodgy stuff by the area manager. And I mean dodgy stuff, like coming in really early in the morning to clock himself in and then going home for 12 hours and then coming back and clocking himself out and acting like he was there 12 hours, 7 days a week. And he wasn't. He was lucky if he was there a couple hours a week. So yeah, he got fired for that. And then his right-hand assistant, who was very up herself and cocky and like very much sort of the female version of him, got caught dipping her hands into the safe and taking money out. This out there for you guys is, if someone's having a go at you for a mistake, try and brush it off. I know sometimes it's difficult, especially if you've got anxiety and things like that, but brush it off, because at the end of the day, nobody's perfect, and they've probably made just as many mistakes, if not more, in their lives. And your minor mistake is probably nothing compared to some of the mistakes someone else has made. So Floyd's want my attention, so yeah. And I'll catch you guys in the next vlog. I'm sorry this is a bit sporadic and all over the place, and obviously I don't really come into these videos with a structure. I sort of just go with what I feel like talking about. So I hope you guys don't mind. In the future they'll get more sort of structured, but for now I'm just going to talk about what I want. If you don't like it, don't watch. But if you do like it and you do want to keep watching, then subscribe and like and all that jazz. And if you want to leave a comment about anything regarding what we've talked about, or if you just want to express your feelings of loss and grief in the comments, then please do. So this is the Floyd's blow machine we got last week. So he's just playing with it in the garden today. It's a bit breezy, but it's so warm. Are you gonna get your bubbles? It's like I put the camera on, it goes camera shy. Go get him! Okay, bye guys.